Charles Fockaert, November 29, 2018. Welcome, everyone. This video is on Alfred and Monika Schaefer. I got a letters from them. I want to go over that and a few other things. Let's start with Alfred letter I received. Monica and myself being where we are is the best thing that could possibly have happened. The objective is to jolt people out of their state of induced mental illness from a lifelong indoctrination. Both Monica and I understand the importance of our parts in this narrative and our obligation to get it right. He could have, Alfred could have said, backed off, walked back. God, I hate some of these Americanisms. He could take a softer approach, and he wouldn't have got the 3.2 year or 3 years, 2 months that he got. I have a lot of respect for Alfred. We both have our guardian angels, and they never let us down. No matter what they do to us, we win. We have already won. Those people that we have reached will not go back to zombie mode. Everything we have done in our lives until now would be totally meaningless if we did not fight for the truth now with everything we've got. Our enemy's objective is to destroy us and erase even the memory of us. I think he's speaking here of the Germans. If we let them, this objective is now being applied to the entire white race. Of course, we are winning as people everywhere are getting into focus and increasingly high resolution image of who we are and how we have been abused, what has been done to us, and what the agenda is if we do not take action. It goes on here. Young people everywhere are coming out of the matrix and they are growing the spirit needed to deal with the problems as the young people grasp the reality of the world they were born into. Their patience for the boomer generation that allowed it to go this way is zero. I cannot take anyone serious who still got their mind in the matrix. The rest of the letter, but he sure got it right about we are winning, folks. It doesn't look like it sometimes, but we're winning, and we got to reach the minds and the hearts of the young white people, especially the males. And that is one of the main purposes of this channel. And I go even further than Alfred. I go all the way to the fact that the guardian angels is the spirits of God, Yahweh, God of the white race. I'm not embarrassed to say that. God is a racist. He chose, of all the people, he chose the Israelites, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and their offspring to be his people. I make no apologies for that, and I can support it from scripture and history. Anyway, let's go on to Monica's letter. Charles, thank you with exclamation point for your letter of September 9th, finished on September 11 or 9/11 anniversary, though you say so many have no clue. I dare say the majority of people know that the official story on that one is false, but what most don't know is who did it. I'll tell you who did it. Israel did it with the neocons, Bush and Cheney here in the United States, and they got away with murder, and they got away with treason. And I want to throw in here, Trump isn't saying a word about it. In fact, he's trying to make us believe that bin Laden that was killed in Pakistan here a few years ago was a mistake because it should have been done earlier. Well, bin Laden died in 2001, December. It was all over the newspapers in the Middle East, especially Egypt. I was there in the Middle East in 2006. I had Arabs in Doha, Qatar, tell me bin Laden died. She goes on. Your letter gave me the push I needed to actually start my project, which is a book. In a way, I have written much of the book already, only it's scattered here and there. For example, the letters I write to the world. If I had made a copy of all those letters, it sure wouldn't be all that hard to string a few of those together. But alas, I did not do that. Letters go out and they are out of my hands and they go to so many different people all over the place. So it's not even like there is a single recipient who could gather or collect the letters. I would suggest, and I haven't asked Monika this, but maybe if we got the word out, maybe I shouldn't be saying this. I don't want to. I don't want to overstep my bounds here, but if we get the word out that the people who received the letters, and if they kept the letters like I did, they could send those letters back to Monika now that she's back home in Jasper, and she would have a book already written. I'm going to try to get a hold of Monika and suggest that to her. I'm not going to go on and read the rest of the letter, but I did want to give you that update. There's a book apparently in the works from Monika and perhaps even Alfred, and we need to keep the pressure on. We need to keep an ebook with pictures and links and also a written book, and maybe it could get banned also along with my book on Amazon.com. My week for letters, I got a collection status notice from the State of California Franchise Tax Board. They're after me for over $12,000, close to $13,000 from tax year 2000. I find that pretty interesting because in 2000 I was overseas. I was in Thailand. And during my divorce, I was falsely accused of taking money out of the community property pile there. And so the court appointed a trustee, court-appointed trustee, who was later I found out he was stealing from my accounts. He was selling off my equipment and for cash and putting some of the money in his pocket and other nefarious activities. So finally, when I had enough and my assets were dwindling, I had several $100,000 worth of property, folks, plus my house and all the equipment. I filed for bankruptcy, the federal bankruptcy court there in Santa Rosa, and Alan Jaroslavsky, who said in open court, I have never, in the 12 years I've been on the bench, given a man back his business over the objection of his ex-wife. Sorry. So, all of those assets, I wasn't broke. I was in the black. There was plenty of money to pay the taxes they say I'm owed. So, where did that money go? Now that I'm here thinking about it again, there was several $100,000 for property that I sold that I didn't hardly owe anybody any money, folks. I want to know where that money went and why wasn't this tax bill paid? There was fraud. I'm claiming there was fraud, not only in the court-appointed trustee. It's all written in my book. Dad, banned on both Amazon and Lulu. It is available at the book patch. I go into that in my book, and I believe the trustee for Alan Jaroslavsky put that money in her own account and perhaps the account of the federal judge. Can't prove it. And my attorney didn't follow up. I never got any. Nobody ever tried to contact me and say, hey, Charles, we're going to split the community property proceeds out of your divorce, out of your bankruptcy. Half goes to the ex and half. Never heard a word. So where did those thousands of dollars go? And now the state of California is after me 18 years later for money I don't owe, and I got to put up with this Bravo Sierra, and they're threatening. See, if I would own property now, if I would own anything of value, they would come after me, and I wouldn't have. Um, I am sick and tired of this, the corruption in this country, the corruption at the low level all the way up. When, when, when are we going to see some justice? And boy, would I like to do an audit of the my file. And they probably don't even keep the records. They're going to say, oh, we get rid of the records. 18, 19, 20 years ago, they're going to say, we got rid of all that. That's how they hide the corruption. They know they're going to get away with it. And I've gotten sick and tired of this corruption. Now, don't send your pre-crime SWAT team here to say that I'm not threatening anybody. I'm just telling you I'm sick and tired of the corruption, and it's California. You know what? Millions of illegal aliens were down there in Southern California getting paid under the table. I worked on a framing crew. The only job I could get here, I had 25 years experience almost in the construction industry. Nobody would hire me at the upper level because they were afraid I was going to just quit and go on my own again. I got a job at on a framing crew, all Mexican crew, one Indian. Nobody spoke English except the foreman and me and the Indian. And we're all getting paid every Friday under the table cash. Nobody paying workers' comp. Nobody paying. And then the white guy, all his life, paying the taxes, and they're still coming after me because I was the goose that laid the golden egg. They killed the goose, and they're wondering where the golden egg is still. Unbelievable, people, what's going on in this country. Of course, you believe it. You understand what's going on. I think I'm going to do a series on the lawsuit that I was engaged in with when the plaintiff falsely accused me of fraud. I said in my very last petition for rehearing, I said I was going to write a book about it, and I asked the Montana Supreme Court to reconsider the ruling. I haven't written the book because very few people read books anymore, so maybe I'll do a YouTube series and explain to the public how corrupt the judicial system is in Montana, all the way up to the Montana Supreme Court. That's one reason I live in a 41-year-old mini, what I call the mobile cabin, and I'm making the best of a bad situation. And so that these people, it's not worth their while to come after me. But you know what? I wouldn't put it past them to come and take away a man's home, even though it's a good thing I don't have a nice place on the river. Because if I did, I wouldn't be able to say. I'd have to keep a low profile, wouldn't I? I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting this channel. May the grace of God, our Father Yahweh, be with us all, for we most certainly need it. And I mean the white race when I say that. See you.